Now, not every custom figure is a winner, I think it's fair to say. Trial and error, bit of practice, and, you know, my limited abilities, but some turn out all right. I think Giant Barber turned out okay. There's a couple of others here. This one, a friend of mine painted that for me. I think that's pretty good, don't you, that Muta? Whereas my Masawa, I think you can tell who it is. My painting skills are not the best, but I think it's got a general idea. There's one or two which are, I would say, pretty bad, but they serve a purpose. So Inoki for a start. So that's another head, but I only had this tiny head. It was off one of those mini big head figures. And so I used it, stuck it on an old Mattel figure. Now, obviously, if you look closely, the scale's not great, but mixed in with the other figures, you get away with it, and it gives me an Inoki figure I can use to this scale. Now, Kenta Kobashi, I think that's pretty good. My Kenta Kobashi figure is not too bad. But there's particular ones I want to show you, because I think when you film them, or when you take photographs of them, if you're careful, you can get away with it. Now, this is my Kawada. You can tell who it is immediately. The face is not great. My apologies to the great wrestler. However, it serves a purpose, as does this one. Now, this is probably the worst custom. To be fair, it's my first custom. This is Dory Funk. I really wanted a Dory Funk figure. And all I had was this tiny, tiny little Japanese figure with a tiny, tiny head. You can sort of tell it's him. It was my first try at it. And yeah, okay, it's not really in scale. You put it near any of the other figures and it looks a bit crazy. However, it's all about depth. So with the right lighting, with the right setup, you can blur out your background. You can make sure that your crowd looks like a crowd without actually seeing that Cactus Jack and Shane McMahon have come for a day out. And likewise with Dory. Now, if I put him in the ring alongside Terry, and I put Terry Funk here, and I put the Sheik there, and Dory's somewhere over there, you kind of get the gist of what I'm saying. You get away with the fact that his head doesn't quite match. Gives you some TBS memories, that, doesn't it? That plastic bag over the head of Terry Funk, but we won't dwell on that. I know it sounds crazy, and yeah, look, there are people who do this better than me, but this is part of my cheat. It's the way I do it, which is that if you get them together, I mean, the other thing is, obviously, these things never stand up. It's a bit difficult to do with one hand. Now, obviously, it still looks a bit rubbish if you zoom in. But with the right lighting, the right angle, I think it looks pretty good. I'm going to have a go, and I'll put the picture on the end here, and you can see what you make of it.